25 drivers, 16 nationalities, 3 champions, 1 champ. Road to Indy TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to fire things up. Joining me down here now on pit lane to give the call to fire up these engines, one of our guests from Cooper Tire, Bryce Miller, to give the command.
On behalf of everyone at Cooper Tires, drivers, start your engines.
Engines coming to life down here on pit lane. 17 drivers on the very first rung of the road to Indy. John Phippen, this is going to be a good one. It's time to go USF 2000 racing.
Thanks so much, Rob. I'm joined in the booth by Cameron Shields. Cameron from Newman Walks Racing. Sadly, a funding issue, Cameron, keeps you out of this starting grid, but we hope you get something together to finish out the season.
Yeah, it certainly is a real shame that I'm sitting up here watching everyone drive by when I really want to be out there, but we're working harder than ever, myself and everyone at Newman Walks Racing, to make sure I can finish the last 2 races of the season.
Excellent. Well, great to have your expertise here in the booth with Rob and I. Rob's making his way back up to our commentary position as the car's just about getting ready to roll out. There goes the pace car, and the car's behind. My name's John Phippen, speaking to you from the commentary position overlooking the start-finish line here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, but I'm joined by 3 other announcers around the track, in addition to Rob and Cameron here in the commentary booth. Rusty Bell will pick up the cars as they leave my view at turn number 1.
Cars coming out of the pit lane exit, which I catch underneath that turn 1 bridge, one of the fastest corners on the track, as they make their way up the straightaway into that keyhole turn. 180-degree off-camber corner. The road falls away to the pit, the curbing on the outside of that corner as they'll roll up on that, coming onto the long back straightaway, 3,000 feet with a little kink in the middle. I'm just down from that kink here, about 2/3 of the way down that straightaway, but get to see the cars at their fastest here at the top end of the straightaway, as it will lead them into the S's.
As they head down this long back straightaway into the best passing zone on the track, heavy braking area for turn number 4. They're in the view of Brian Culbertson.
As the field makes their way past Rusty Bell and into the best passing area of the track, which is into turn number 4, they enter the part of the track we call the S's, or Madness. It's 3 turns, 2 names. It's a hard right-hander. They climb back up a hill through turn number 5. It's a left-hander. They drop down the hill into turn number 6. They go underneath the Honda Bridge and make their way to Thunder Valley.
Thunder Valley is the purview of Tom Michaels. Hey, Tom.
Good morning, John, and as we await the cars to appear, coming through turn number 7, that's the one part of the racetrack that none of us can really see real well. But as they come through then turn 8, a couple of right-handers with 9, they kind of round it off as they come between 8 and 9 through the off-camber turn number 9, up over a little bit of a rise. Car gets a little bit light as they come through there, and then down into Thunder Valley. A sweeping right-hander would be turn number 10 as they go under the Total Court Bridge, and then up into the carousel turn as they come off the very fast turn 11 into the front part of the race course.
Turn 11 is where we can pick them up once again, and that's where the field is right now as they begin to line up 2 by 2. Dave Heitmeyer, guest of Cooper Tires, about to wave the green flag. Rob Howden back in the booth with us, getting ready to call the start.
We've seen some great momentum for Kyle Kirkwood in Indy Pro 2000. Will we see the same thing for Christian Rasmussen? He's got back-to-back wins here in Toronto and Mid-Ohio. Hunter McElroy bringing them down. Getting ready to go. Good start. Green, green, green. Flag getting displayed here at start finish, and we're underway. The first run down into turn number 1. They'll work their way out under the bridge. That big run out of 1 down to 2 now to the keyhole. Let's see how things set up as the drivers will work their way around the racetrack here for the first time. Big run down to the inside of the track for Hunter McElroy, but to the outside comes Rasmussen. Little wiggle on the brakes. Kaminsky and Sundaramurthy sliding into that 3rd and 4th place spots. They'll work their way down the straightaway into the view of Rusty Bell.
Down the straightaway, it still is Hunter McElroy at the point. Rasmussen in 2nd. The 23 car of Colin Kaminsky in 3rd. They've got a little bit of gap back to the 4th place, but they're all 4 wide.
4 wide back then. We were 2 wide for the lead there just for a moment. McElroy able to hang on to the lead as he goes over turn number 5. We still got some good side-by-side racing. It's the 8 car. Brandon Eves trying to make a position up. Doesn't get it done, but headed for you now, Tom Michaels.
Yep, very close all the way through this pack. As you look back, there is no gap until you get back to the number 3 car, really. That's really back in the 12th position. Everybody through. Turn number 9 up into 11 now. That left-hander leader, Hunter McElray.
Yeah, field streaming in now down to the single file. Darren Keene having trouble getting things rolling. I said he started at the tail of the field, got balked up a little bit. He's going to try to make a move here pretty soon, but we'll give you a rundown. Here they come out of the final corner, across the line here. Good run there for Hunter McElray. He's your leader over Christian Rasmussen. Colin Kaminsky in second, Sundar Murli in third. What a good start here as well for Zach Holden. He sets nicely into the 5th spot. Matt Round-Garrido 6th, Braden Eves in the 7th position, Jack Crawford 8th, Jack Miller in 9th, and Reese Gold rounding out your top 10. There's single file, as I said, coming up here into turn number 2. Darren Keene trying to go to work here on Bruno Tomaselli, the Pabst Racing driver, has not been able to make a move yet, but again, single file 20 lapper, and the opening lap goes in the books here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This USF 2000 championship getting through all the different disciplines earlier this year. Of course, a couple of street races, St. Petersburg and Toronto, the Oval at Lucas Oil Raceway. You've got the track, the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Here's Keene to the inside there, getting a move around Nolan Siegel. So Keene starting to get more aggressive. He got Tomaselli into the back chute. You can see him as they come out the turn number 7 there. And indeed, Keene with a couple spots, able to get by Tomaselli and Nolan Siegel. So, again, not surprising, John, to see Darren Keene getting a little aggressive here. I think he was calm for the first lap, but lap 2, he was ready to go.
And as we talk about the front, we didn't talk much at all about Christian Rasmussen yesterday because he just absolutely checked out from the pole position. But right now he's in second and does not appear to be mounting a challenge to Hunter McElray. So we'll see how that shakes out as Christian Rasmussen solidly in that second spot. Colin Kaminsky, who finished on the box yesterday as well, in third. His teammate Sundar Murli right behind him as we've got the 36 coming into the pit lane.
Yeah, that's Nolan Siegel coming into pit lane. Another damaged wing, same thing as he had yesterday. Damage on that front wing, but there was a yellow at that point that allowed him to get back to the tail of the field. They're going to get this wing changed, the potential for him to potentially go down a lap. We'll see the team going to work, the Newman Walks Racing crew. They're looking, of course, at the front suspension as well, making sure everything's okay on the car of Nolan Siegel. Again, his first season. Cameron Shields, we'll come to you. He's been your teammate throughout the year. Only 14 years of age, a young kart racer. Just every place he goes, it's new. Everything's brand new. Doesn't have the experience you have. But talk a little about Nolan Siegel, a really, really great young man.
Yeah, he certainly is. I mean, he's been doing a terrific job this year. Obviously, I've seen that the most out of everyone. I'm in the truck with him after every session. I'm out there on the track with him as well. And knowing where I was at his age too, he's really progressed a long way this year. I mean, there's so many things to work on, and it's such a competitive field. I mean, we've got champions from all over the world competing in this race, and it's very, very tough. So for him to be finishing in the top 10 throughout this season has been a great result for him.
I'll tell you one thing, gloves are off right around 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, and 11th, John. That's Braden Eves in the 8, Jack Miller in the 40, Jack Crawford in the 4, Reese Gold in the 3, and Manuel Suleiman in the number 12. They were essentially side by side as they came out into Thunder Valley. That was a little sketchy, I think.
Braden Eves was up in 7th spot, and Jack Miller tried to go inside him at turn number 9 and shuffled him all the way back to 11th, and that allowed Jack Crawford to move up to 7th. So Jack William Miller having a good run here.
And championship implications to Braden Eves, the guy who came in with a pretty solid lead. He hasn't had a lot of great results. Not the best runs in Toronto. Wasn't able to get back to the podium. Same goes for yesterday. So again, watching the issues here for Braden Eves. He'll have to gather things back up. Guys, we got a great battle for 4th in turn number 4.
That battle's over with, so new 4th place runner gets the pass done right on the inside of turn number 4. That 14 car, Zach Holden, gets the pass done. Actually starting to move away just a little bit, so Zach Holden, good run now through the S's. He's picked up a couple car lengths, Tom, right in front of you. Zach Holden on the move.
Yeah, no real challenges as they come through here. On that last lap, we saw contact. One of the cars involved in the contact was Jack Miller in the number 40 as they came through here. This is not a place you usually see passing in turn number 9, but we had it there. And another car came a cropper of it because of that contact.
Let's take an opportunity to talk a little bit here about Zach Holden in that number 4 team machine. Started the season off with a different team and actually had to sit out a couple of races. A young driver from Greenfield, Indiana, a lot of talent. He's one of the top young kart racers when he runs in the senior karting ranks and the top national series like the SuperKarts USA program. You'll see him running for race wins. the budget, he's been working on it to be able to get a full-time budget to run, an opportunity to run here with Legacy Autosport. They started the season with Alex Barron, a French driver, not so much young anymore, in his early 20s, a winner in USF 2000. He was a winner in Indy Lights as well, but started the season, Legacy Autosport, a brand new team, Mike Meyer and his crew. They decide they're going to put Zach Holden in the car in Toronto. He had one very good race and then one issue where he got into the wall. But this kid's got so much talent. You watch the pass that he was able to make down in turn number 4, and then he's actually pulled away already from Sundar Murthy. And you think about how good the Pabst Racing crew has been here this past weekend. McElroy so quick, Kaminsky, Sundar Murthy, even we had, and Tomaselli was right in the fight there as well. But Holden, in what is essentially a single car team, only his second race, they do have Timmy Paglioso with them this weekend, kind of fighting, I want to say above the weight level a little bit, John, but that's a good team. They've got lots of experience, and Zach Holden's a talented driver.
Christian Rasmussen not letting Hunter McElroy get away. It's about 0.6 of a second, and on that last lap, he was about 0.2 quicker. It's down to just under 0.6. Colin Kaminsky dropping back just a bit, about 1.5 seconds behind. Zach Holden, the man on the move, though, he's running a little quicker than Kaminsky, so Holden might have something to say about the podium here.
We're going to keep watching that gap between Kaminsky and Zach Holden. You see the drivers working their way now up into the keyhole, bit of an uphill run into that right-hander, then it comes back downhill, part of the undulating nature of this circuit. Downhill, off camber, you're trying to roll back on the throttle, Cameron. That's a tough part of this racetrack, isn't it? Turn 2.
Yeah, certainly is. It's very tough, but it's very critical as well because, of course, it runs onto the longest straight on the track as well.
Good input here from Cameron Shields, of course, a driver for Newman Walks Racing, won at Lucas Oil Raceway earlier this year. Just had some trouble with the budget, kind of ran out of funds, but doing his best to try to make sure he gets back on the track in Portland and Laguna Seca. Has a bunch of guys that are looking to support him. If you want a driver to support, this is the guy to do it. Cameron Shields from Toowoomba, Australia. Great to have him in the booth with us here this weekend. Half a second the lead now for McElroy. We'll continue to watch Christian Rasmussen. If there's a driver right now in USF 2000 with a similar momentum than you have with Kyle Kirkwood at Indy Pro 2000, this is it. A young driver from Denmark. Do have a driver coming off there you saw coming through the carousel. Let's pick a number up there, John, if we can. I want to say that might have been Sundar Murthy.
I believe it was.
Indeed, the number 21 of you and Sundar Murthy just getting off a little bit, and that's another part of this racetrack you can talk about, Cameron. When you come out of Thunder Valley, you crest the hill, it's kind of a blind corner, and you're just trying to roll as much speed as you can into that corner.
It's very, very tough, and in these cars, it's certainly not flat. Some people might be having a small break, some maybe not. It's that might be just a driver preference thing, but as you come into the corner, the car's very loaded. It comes uphill, there's on camber, and as you get into the higher load part of the corner, it unloads as you come over the crest. So it's very tough, and we've seen a lot of drivers go off there over the weekend.
Yeah, we have. It was one of those ones, John, where it was really just 2 wheels off, but quickly became 4 wheels kind of thing. But good on Juven for holding on. He ends up finishing in 7th. We've seen different results of doing that in that corner.
Exactly right. Yeah, you could go all the way off and get to the tire barrier. So Juven Sundaramurthy did a great job of hanging on to that car. He only lost 2 spots. But Matt Round-Garrido, once again, making his way toward the front. He's up to 5th now. And Jack Crawford coming with him, the best of the Cape drivers right at the moment.
2 straight top 5 finishes for Matt Round-Garrido, trying to do it again here in what is essentially a single-car team for BN Racing. Round-Garrido, a very talented driver, an open wheel, ran the single-seaters, the Formula 1600s in Ireland, over in Europe and in the UK. That is a tremendous training ground. The wingless cars, the F1600s, and Matt Round-Garrido really starting to get comfortable here in the USF 17. He's P5. Jack Crawford now up to 6th. Sundar Murthy back to 7th. Jack Miller 8th. Reese Gold in 9th, and Manuel Suleiman in 10th. Braden Eves, who started up in the 6th spot, has fallen down to 11th. You guys kind of chronicled the issue with Jack Crawford, Jack Miller. Darren Keene's been able to get back up. He's only a second behind his teammate Eves. They have to now go to work to see if they can't get by Manuel Suleiman. Let's have a look at this lead battle here now, guys. Half a second last time by the stripe. You can see, Brian, that Rasmussen closing on McElroy.
Yeah, he's been closing the last couple laps. Oh, big push on Rasmussen's car. That's going to cost him some time here. He just missed his turn-in point for coming over turn number 5. He has dropped back about 3 car lengths from that. We'll see if he recovers. But, man, the front end of that car washed out big time.
Cameron, let's talk about that corner because, as Brian said, you just missed the apex a little bit there. Your turn-in point and the car starts pushing out. Is that something you found in your test day here?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. The car's going to be extremely loaded into that corner. It's a downshift as well. You'll be running 3rd through the previous corner, and downshifting into second into there. So that's going to upset the car as well. And you can see that happen to Rasmussen then. As soon as he turned in, the car wiggled and he went offline. And when you're offline on the weekends of IndyCar, the groove is so strong because of all the rubber. So once you get out of that, you lose a lot of grip, and that's exactly what happened.
Good detail there from Cameron Shields. And again, though, we talked about, guys, you guys are talking about how you're watching this battle between Rasmussen. He's getting closer and closer. Well, Hunter McElroy just set fast lap of the race, a half a second quicker on that last lap. Excellent lap there for Hunter McElroy as he looks to get his second win of the season. McElroy and Rasmussen 1-2. A potential issue here. John, you're picking out Jack Miller falling down the order. Nothing we're seeing here on the screen, but potential issue for Jack. He fell back to the 14th spot.
I'm guessing he must have had a spin at some point because he was up into 8th position as Reese Gold was putting pressure on him. And then he's lost it. The battle for 5th right in front of Brian Culbertson.
That battle is nose to tail. The 27, Raul Guerrero, able to hold off Crawford, but those two guys were nose to tail at the end of the back straightaway. Raul Guerrero able to hold on to the position, though.
Just saw that coming in front of you, Tom.
Yep, right now they come by us, a couple of car lengths between the 27 of Raul Guerrero and then the car of Crawford. So there's going to be no challenge at this point. But that's getting close again.
Coming out of Thunder Valley down into the carousel. You guys are watching the Road to Indy TV app. You saw it. A little wiggle there coming out of that corner as he tried to roll in. That was Hunter McElroy. Little tank slapper, but he was able to control it nicely and get the thing back to where he wanted it to be. And in the process of that tank slapper, turning the fast lap of the race as well. So maybe the fast way around here is to be a little bit out of control. I don't know.
Loose is fast, they always say.
It is 121.735. Good lap there for Hunter McElroy. 1.1 seconds the advantage. You can see it on the racetrack there. And again, that was Zach Holden trying to close up here on Kaminsky. He's 1.8 seconds back, but those two drivers trading almost identical lap times last time by, both doing 122 flat. So hard to make any ground up if you're not at least a tenth or so quicker. There's the leaders all the way down into turn number 4. Again, the long straightaway, this very difficult 4-5-6 combo. The drivers coming back up over the hill. Cameron kind of detailed how tough it is with that gear change down to second. You don't want to upset the car while you're turning into the turn 5 corner. Back down the hill to turn number 6. This is always a tough corner here as well in front of Tom as you come through that turn 8 and then into turn number 9. This track so fraught with peril. You can make a mistake anywhere, Cameron, and find yourself off track or in the wall.
It certainly is. It's very difficult and it's very technical. And we've talked about what could be the most difficult corner around the track, but it's so hard because every single corner is difficult. And we've seen that now with a few small mistakes from drivers across the track, and a lot of that's just coming. They're pushing. They're trying as hard as they can. Like Hunter right now, he's got the lead by about a second. And ordinarily, that's a reasonably comfortable gap when you're turning similar lap times. But he saw how fast Christian was yesterday. He managed to win by nearly 10 seconds. So out there right now, he'll be pushing as hard as he can to increase that lead.
John, there's a reason why this track is one of the favorites of all the drivers when they come here, because it just is so challenging and there's so many different aspects. But we're seeing a really good battle shaping up here. They'll be in front of you in a second, Rusty. It's Matt Roungarito, Jack Crawford, and Yuvan Sundaramurthy. Those 3 drivers, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yeah, they've been close together, just moving slightly back and forth here the last few laps. Right now, the number 4 car is the one that's in that challenging position. Crawford looking for a way around Matt Roungarito as he ends up being about a car length at the top end of the straight.
Yeah, our TV pictures have been following the leaders around, but that great battle back for 5th is one we hopefully can spend just a little more time with, as the top 4 pretty much spread out. The top 5 positions, really no real challenges at the moment.
You see the Cape Motorsports drivers trying to work their way forward. Braden Eves now into the 9th spot. Reese Gold in 8th, and Darren Keene, who started dead last, now in the 10th position. So if we look at the championship implications right now, how about this? Braden Eves has 5 race wins, but he has not had a good run over the last couple of races. He would be, as they run on the racetrack, 249 points. Hunter McElroy with the win and the fast lap. There's a bonus for fast lap. He's already setting himself up almost to get the bonus point for the most laps led. At this point, it's just 3-point difference between first and second. That is absolutely tremendous. The only 2 drivers who have been able to get over 200 points. Then you go back to Darren Keene, who would be how far back in the championship now? What's that? 246, 249. He would be right around 51 points back in the championship. Keene would have to really go on a streak here, as there's, for USF 2000, only 2 more weekends still to go, Portland and Laguna Seca.
This great battle with Matt Roungarito at the front, coming down in front of Brian Culbertson right now.
Yeah, he's able to close it back up once again. as they make their way through the S's. But we've been watching now with Roungarito and Crawford, those 4th, 5th, and 6th place. And it's nose to tail. Sundararamuthi there closes up in behind 2. And there's a pack of another 3 cars behind these guys. They begin to close up too.
Yeah, that battle now for 5th. 27 car through, just a car length behind. The 4 car, Jack Crawford, one of the cars put the left side wheels off into the dirt. Doesn't lose a whole lot of time there. Continuing the battle. 5th place belongs to Roungarito.
Looks to me like Darren Keene has been able to get by his teammate Braden Eves. Keene had a big off on Thursday testing. You can see the car's got a little bit different, got a big black bodywork on the other side. I think he's been able to get by. Indeed, Darren Keene in the number 2. Move him now to the 9th spot. What does that do to the championship? Braden Eves up by only 2 points now. Yep. So, again, Braden Eves back into 10th position. It has not been a good run of races for the driver from Ohio. Again, 5 wins to start the season, 5 wins in the first 7 races, but he has not been on the podium in the last 3 events, and that does not look like it's going to happen here today. So Braden Eves has got to dial things back in when we go to Portland, a track that he did do well at last year, actually running, Cameron, for your team. Newman Walks Racing. That was his debut last year at Portland, and that experience is definitely going to play well for Braden Eves. Let's go back to the battle on track with Brian Cuthbertson.
Side by side there, Crawford finally able to get that pass done, solidifies it as he goes over turn number 5. So the number 4 car, Crawford, gets around the 27 of Roungarito. He is able to pull away about a half a car length, make it a car length now, Tom, headed for you, but switch there for the 5th position. Crawford up 1 spot.
Yeah, and there's going to be a challenge coming up here from Sundararamuthi. He has put himself right behind the brand new 5th place car of Roungarito.
I'll tell you, a guy to watch right now is Darren Keene. When he got by Braden Eves, he's been able to stretch away. He's at the tail of this group there, right behind now his teammate Reese Gold. And Darren has been able to leave Eves in his dust. Again, out of the final corner onto the front straightaway. Look for Keene now to get up here on the gearbox of Reese Gold. That's going to be a good battle to watch. They come through turn 1. I don't know if he's in a position to try it over in turn number 2 yet, but I would bet, Rusty, you're going to see a battle. That's going to be for 8th position. Gold in that gold-colored number 3, and Darren Keene in the white and black number 2.
Yeah, that's going to be a 5-way battle coming up. All 5 of those cars close together. Crawford sort of leading this pack, but they have all tightened it up here, and there are now 5 cars that are going to be involved in that. Down in front of me, the 2 cars probably peeks out. I don't know that he's close enough, though, Brian.
He is trying late on the brakes. What a pass right there at the very end.
Darren Keene.
So that 2 car gets that pass done. That's about the latest braking I've seen all weekend long. Darren Keene pulls that pass out of a magic hat.
Yeah, cars now kind of equidistance, though. Jack Crawford is starting to separate himself from a real battle behind him. So there's no battle for 5th, but 6th, 7th, and 8th. Man, that's getting close.
Yeah, Darren Keene is on the move. He's the driver we're keying on right now. Here's Crawford. There is then Roungarito, followed by Sundararamuthi. Keene now into the 8th position. We still have 6 laps remaining. Darren Keene now trying to push forward. Again, a winner in Toronto. Driver from Boca Raton, Florida. Did a couple of races in 2017, not quite the full season last year. His first full season of USF 2000 competition, and he is getting ready to push here now. And again, Keene, last time by, just about 0.4 of a second behind. It's Rusty Bell now, just 2 car lengths as they come out of the keyhole.
Down the straight, we'll see if he tries that late brake maneuver once again, as he did last time. He's certainly into the draft right now, still about 2 car lengths in front of me. He may need to wait another lap, Brian. I don't think he's close enough this lap.
He didn't look close enough last lap, but he stuck it in there. He gets it down to about a car length right now. So Keene's the guy to watch, that number 2 car. Keene made that beautiful pass last time. He's starting to set him up now. It's about a car length between them as they go underneath the Honda Bridge. Tom Michaels headed for you.
Yeah, they are still nose to tail as they come through here. Watching the 2 car. He has lost just a little bit of momentum there. He's a couple of car lengths down behind.
I would have to believe that Keene's going to have the confidence after that pass that Brian called down in turn number 4. He's stacking it up. Everybody, in fact, stacking it up behind Roungarito. I would expect you're going to see Keene start to get aggressive here. Unless Sundararamuthi can get by Roungarito, he's going to be in his own trouble. But actually a good run out of the final corner Sooner Murley right up under the gearbox of Round Garrido coming out of turn number 1. They'll get that long run down here again. Sooner Murley made his debut last year here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course with exclusive Autosport, trying to close up here on Matt Round Garrido. Not close enough, though. He had to make a move because I'll tell you, Darren Keene is hungry. He wants another spot, a potential 6th place finish if he gets to the front of this group. Rusty, looking good this time down the straightaway.
He's close enough this time already to make that pass at the top end again as he's in the slipstream. The draft now, he peeks out, Brian.
He looks to the inside. He pulls the trigger. Man, Keene is so good on the brakes. He made that look almost too easy. I tell you what, Round Garrido better be watching his mirrors because Keene can pull it on either side and make a pass at the end of the back straightaway. Darren Keene right there in front of you, Tom Michaels.
Yeah, a little bit of twitch out of the 2 car. He is just ahead of the 21 of the car he just passed, Thunder and Murphy. They head up through Thunder Valley. No change as they hit 11.
I'll tell you, Darren Keene, John, is rolling right now. Hunter McElroy just reset fast up at the race, but we are keying on this battle, which is now for the 6th position. Matt Round Garrido and the BN Racing Machine, a couple of back-to-back top 5s. Doesn't look like it's going to happen today. Currently P6 with a very hungry Darren Keene right behind him in the Cape Motorsports number 2. They'll work their way out of turn number 1. And this has kind of been, not quite back-to-back passes. One gap in the middle as Keene set up Sundar Murthy. But right now, looks like he is ready to go after the driver, Matt Round Garrido. And after that, Rusty Bell, it could be his teammate Jack Crawford for a top 5.
Yeah, we're watching that, but also the 3rd place battle has gotten close now. The 14 is Zach Holden right on the back of Colin Kaminsky. Then that gap back to this battle that we're following. Here he goes. Keene now has to move to the outside to try this pass, Brian.
Keene's on the outside there. We'll see if they both hold it in there. Keene holds it in. Keene is making passes down here in the S's that are unbelievable, and he keeps the car so smooth. Darren Keene doing a great job making his way up through here. He has got a lot of ground to make up, a few laps to do it. We'll see if Darren Keene able to move up any more spots.
Brian, let me tell you this. This is a kid here who battled early in the season. He got his first win just 2 weeks ago in Toronto. And John, you and I have talked about what a win means to a young driver.
Yep.
His very first Road to Indy victory, it's given him the confidence, kind of changed the mindset a little bit, took some of the pressure off. Remember, he started dead last on this field, 17th after some issues in qualifying. Darren Keene has worked his way up into this 6th position. We're going to watch lap times here as well, guys, to see if he's not able to close up on Jack Crawford. He's 3.6 seconds back, but only 3 laps to go. You got to believe that that might be it for Darren Keene, but nonetheless, putting on a show coming through with, as you guys call it, Brian, you had 3 passes from him. Amazing run as well. But they're still racing, guys. Rusty, check out that battle as well with Matt Round Garrido. He's got to hold off Sundar Murthy still.
Watching that, I'm still watching Zach Holden now. He peeks out to the outside. He's going to try this before the end of the race right now as we see Garrido coming down with a lot of pressure behind. 3 cars trying to get around him.
See if anybody pulls the trigger here. Round Garrido able to hold that pack off. Keene able to get away from them easily, but Round Garrido has got 4 cars behind him, all trying to get around him.
I'll tell you what I like right now is that's Hunter McElroy out front. Again, we're not seeing it. If you're watching the screen, we're really keying on this battle between 6th all the way back to about 11th. But Hunter McElroy is getting the job done out front, 1.06 seconds. Christian Rasmussen is not giving it up at all, and we're also trying to key a bit on this battle for the final position on the podium in 3rd. Pretty good advantage still for Colin Kaminsky. The gap across the line about a half a second. Both drivers in the low 122s. But again, they're keying on this battle again behind Darren Keene. He has made his move to 6th position. Matt Round Garrido in 7th. He's got Yuvan Sundar Murthy right behind him. Reese Gold, Braden Eves, and Manuel Suleiman. 18 laps in the books, guys. Just 2 more laps remaining. And based on lap times, 0.8 of a second between 1st and 2nd. But Rasmussen, guys, was 0.2 quicker last time by.
Reese Gold goes wide and loses that pack now. He is well behind that, so he drops out of this battle that we're watching. So the 2-car Keene clear. There's another car going wide at turn 1. But there's a good battle right now. Garrido getting a challenge.
Getting a challenge on the high side. They're still side by side. Also watch the battle for the lead, the battle for 3rd. They touch! The 27 Round Garrido goes off the track. The 21 car, Smoother Ruthie, gets into him. Round Garrido able to get the car refired and to rejoin here. But man, those two cars came together. Everybody back on the track. We're green in the S's.
Yeah, Brian, we switched over on the camera just as you were calling that. We saw Round Garrido go to the outside. Let's try to get a replay here. We got 2 to go, but we're going to get a replay of what happened down there in the corner, guys. Cameron, let's have a look at this. I'll call it, then you can give me your input. Side by side, that is Sundar Amurthy and Matt Round Garrido. That looks to me like that was just an over-anxious move by Sundar Amurthy to the inside. Cameron, your thoughts?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those incidents where it's not great for anyone. Of course, both of them were involved, and it just seemed to me that coming into turn 4, Juven was right behind, and at that stage, you're going to have dirty air. He's going to have no front grip, and we could see he just understeered straight off the track, and it wasn't much. It was just one tire in the dirt, but that's all it was for him to slide up and get into the back of the BN car.
One more lap remaining here, folks. The battle for the lead
We're
tightening
on
up
the final
a little
lap.
bit. This is the final circuit here. The gap down to just 0.7 of a second. Another 0.2 push there by Rasmussen, quicker than the leader McElroy, but he's likely going to run out of time. Cameron giving us a good look at the incident, of course, that we had over there in turn number 4. Just some contact, but leaders working their way now into Thunder Valley. Let's keep the focus, and we haven't done it all race long. Let's do it now. Hunter McElroy looking to grab his second win of the season. The driver from New Zealand for Pabst Racing rolls his way down here into the carousel. Nothing that Christian Rasmussen can do. Coming out of the final corner here at Mid-Ohio, the winner in race 2 for USF 2000, Hunter McElroy. Count that as another top 2 finish for Christian Rasmussen. What a run for him. 2 wins. And I want to say he was second in I think it's 4 straight top 2s for Christian Rasmussen. What a run he is on as well. Colin Kaminsky 3rd, Zach Holden 4th. 5th was Jack Crawford, 6th Darren Keene. How did Braden Eves find himself back up into 7th? Good run for Braden. The gap now in the championship, John, 5 points between
Exactly
Braden Eves and Hunter McElroy.
Reese Gold was in front of him, and Reese had that problem up in the
Indeed.
keyhole
Yep.
turn, and that allowed both Eves and Suleiman to get by him.
Bruna Tomaselli started down in the 14th spot. She got a couple positions up into the top 10 as well. But for Hunter McElroy, good for him to get back up on top of the horse. Again, the lone win he had was at Road America, the first race. But he, too, like some of the other drivers, has been very consistent. Only 2 times he's finished off the podium this year, and that's why he has clawed his way back into championship contention. The title and the battle for the scholarship to go to Indy Pro 2000 far from over. 2 events, 4 races still to come. Portland and Laguna Seca still on the schedule, still on the docket for these drivers. Braden Eves in 7th, but there it is right there, John. Hunter McElroy with his second win of the season. A half a second victory over Christian Rasmussen, who is on a streak of his own. 4 straight podium finishes. Colin Kaminsky able to hold off a determined Zach Holden throughout that entire event. Kaminsky on the podium. Zach Holden in 4th. Jack Crawford 5th as the Cape Motorsports drivers finding some more speed here in race 2. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 9th with Jack Crawford, Darren Keene easily putting on the show of the race.
No
coming
question.
From dead last to 6th. With
I think he's got the hard charger locked up.
some amazing passes called by Brian down there in turn number 4. Inside, outside, didn't matter. Darren Keene 6th, Braden Eves in 7th, Manuel Suleiman 8th, Reese Gold in 9th, and Bruna Tomaselli from 14th, making her way into the top 10.
Great race, great way to finish it. Rob's on his way down to Victory Circle. Cameron, thanks again for being with us in the booth. Great to have your expertise, and let's hope you get a ride for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to watching a great day of racing.
Indeed, thank you so much. Cameron Shields.
It was an amazing race, an amazing weekend, to be honest. You know, we started off P1 in practice, P1 in both qualifyings. A little bit unfortunate to miss out the win yesterday, but then we led every lap, got fastest lap, and won race 2. So feels amazing, you know. The car that Pabst gave me was just on rails all weekend, and I can't thank Mazda Motorsports, the team, like I said, enough for giving me this opportunity. And I'm just so excited to roll this momentum on to the last 2 rounds at Portland and Laguna Seca.